Hello, Pisces. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using this time the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. I had to switch out from the other deck. I think I'm starting to shuffle the paper right off the cards on those. And for the supportive oracle cards, the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine still. I was looking at other ones, but this one still seems to be one I'm favoring, so I'm going with that. As usual, we do the first half relationship, second half single, and I pull out the oracle cards as necessary. I don't think I've used this deck in a good month, but maybe it's been less than that. Just one for each. That's no double cards. No. There's this one last card which everything wants to pull this way. Everything wants to pull that way. So I feel like maybe this situation might be moving at a rapid pace. Only because I feel like there's a pull to move towards the future, or maybe a want or a need to actually just get there and have it handled. That being said, there we go again. I like to say that. What is going on here? Now, the thing is with this deck, I'll admit right off the bat, I don't care for the Hanged Man in this deck because he is completely helpless in this version. There's writing around him, there's warnings all around him, but anything he hears is diluted. He can't see anything except for maybe it's night or day. And on this card you'll notice there's night and day on there. So it's very limited interaction and just kind of stuck where you are, waiting for somebody to release you from this spot that you're in. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't care for this card, even though I think it might be more of a personal thing. I don't like the idea of it because it looks, that person is so helpless. Like, really, what are they going to do to get themselves out of that spot? Like, the most Hanged Men cards, there you can see, you can speak, you can hear. It's just who's coming to you. You're kind of like, limited by that much. But this is saying you're completely like anybody around you, you can barely talk or communicate to people. This person may be able to talk, you don't know, you can't see. There's so much limitation. And on your partner's side, I'm seeing the moon. Now, did they not realize? I feel like what's going on here is more about what they're experiencing when it comes to the moon rather than what you're experiencing. I don't feel like they're getting that. I don't feel like they're understanding how you're feeling right now. I almost think that they're just, even though you might be telling them, I just feel like it's just not landing. It's just not getting there. And partly might be because they don't want to. Partly. But it's kind of like seeing the situation the way they want to see the situation rather than what's actually happening. Like, they don't want to believe that you're really that helpless in the situation. And this Hanged Man, that's a helpless card. Like, it's pretty helpless. It's depending on somebody else to help you out to move forward. I mean, again, that's probably why I don't like it, because it's really... I'm really not a person that... Like, I like to move things forward myself, take some type of ownership of something, that way you can control how it goes forward, at least have some type of control. Not with this card, not with that one. You're really stuck, and I don't feel like they want to see it, and they don't see it. I feel like that's what's causing, is this? Okay. And I think because I'm a Pisces, that's another reason I don't care for it, is because I'm just like, oh, it's just like, I don't like that idea of being helpless. It bothers me. But to your credit, though, you do have strength here. So they're also saying it's not like you can't handle this moment. It's not like you won't make it through. I feel like it's more just frustrating. I feel like maybe that's what I'm connecting to, because I really, the more I see this card, and I haven't had this reaction before to this card that I'm feeling right now, like, I really don't like this card. And I'm feeling like that might be why. That you can endure it, you can do this, you can hold on, and you'll be fine. It's just not something you enjoy. You don't like waiting for somebody else to help you out. You'd rather be moving forward on your own or having some more control with that. Now, I do want to say, on opposite of your strength is the Knight of Cups for your partner, for your lover. I do want to say, there's a lot of love here. So I don't understand why they're not seeing the situation for what it is. Because it doesn't seem like they're seeing it. There's a lot of love coming towards you. And you have a lot of strength here. I'm becoming very well aware that there's a big piece here that I'm not seeing yet that's going to unfold as necessary in this reading, but something's off, and I'm getting that now. I'm starting to catch on. Which if this reading is resonating for you, you probably already know what this is talking about. Because your partner has all this love coming towards you, and you're just kind of standing strong. They're not realizing how you really feel, and they're trying not to see it, but you know how you feel, and you're kind of holding on. The Queen of Pentacles here, I'm looking at the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm feeling like there's a change here. Because the way she's holding that pentacle, it does look like a motherly, it almost looks like a pregnancy to me. And I feel like something's about to change, and you're aware of it, and you're kind of just like, you know what, this change is going to happen. And whether my partner likes it or not is kind of where I'm feeling. It's gonna happen. And you're holding, this seems to be a part of this. These three cards are going together. You're very strong, holding on. You can't move forward yet, but you know there's a change that's about to happen. Maybe because this is a general read again, there's so many people that watch these now. Maybe you are pregnant, or maybe there's somebody in your life that is going to give birth soon, and you're aware of how this is going to change things. And you're just waiting because you know this change is going to happen. And your partner seems to be in like happy land here. Three of Cups. They're just enjoying life, going along. They love you. They love life. They're not seeing it. They're just... The Moon card tells me that they're just not connecting with the reality of the situation. That's what I feel like Moon card is bringing forth in this reading for you. Your partner's not touching ground on reality. Like, they're having a good time, enjoying life. They love you. They love... everything's good. I feel like it's a little... just pie in the sky, having a good time, over-optimism in the sense of like it's so optimistic you're not dealing with what's actually about to change, and there needs to be a little bit more preparation, which I feel like you might be taking the ownership of that, which is affording your partner to do this, but you're kind of, but I feel like there's something here you're like, you only got so much more time for that before this change happens. Now, this is the next part. This change is coming. I feel like you're telling them about this. I don't think this is a secret. I just don't feel like they're touching down on it. Like, no matter how much you're telling them, they're just either pretending it's just going to pass on by or not be a big deal. Something is just hitting like that in this situation, because what comes next is you have the Hermit card. You're off dealing... I feel like you're off dealing with the change. Like, the change is in process, and you're off dealing with this change. I feel like the Hermit is representative of you in this relationship, not in life altogether, but this relationship. You're moving away from your partner for a moment to handle this change. Whether that's the way it should be or not, I feel like that's how it's happening. Okay, now your partner, the Queen of Wands. And I'm definitely a person that I don't... When I read cards, I don't get stagnant with a meaning for a card. Because stereotypically, the Queen of Wands is a very happy, active card. But I go based on feelings. And I'm feeling, especially the look on her face and this, the way I'm getting it, like this is your partner just kind of like dumbfounded. Like, oh... Like, I don't know, they're kind of dumbfounded as you're dealing with the change. And again, it's like they were just not touching base with the reality, and then all of a sudden they have to. And I feel like you're just taking care of the next steps because you're like, I've told you many times what's about to happen. And they're just, I feel like they're just standing there dumbfounded. And I almost feel like you're a little aggravated, slightly aggravated, because you're just like, how can you be dumbfounded? Like, how is that possible? But it is. I feel like if this is hitting for you, I feel like that's what's going on here. Like, they're dumbfounded. Like, oh, reality actually happened. Like, oh. Oh, it happened. Because you're going off and you're handling this change. You got the Knight of Wands. Wands are usually fire for me. I know in this deck it's more about air, but to me, I feel like you're out there handling the change. You're handling the change. There may be a bit of communication there, but I'm getting physical action. That's one thing I've noticed with decks. Like, they come through based on what they're trying to make me understand, so I'm not going to hold myself to what the deck wants it to mean. I'm really feeling like you're actually out there doing the change. You're handling it. The Hermit is representing like you're pulled away from your partner. For right or for wrong, that's what I'm getting for this. And your partner's kind of like looking at the situation. In this card, it kind of just like, I still feel like they're looking at it and they're just trying to decipher what they should do now. And it's weird because I'm getting that you gave them all the signs, you told them everything you could have beforehand. I feel like you told them beforehand. At the very least, if this is not about a pregnancy, if this is more about a breakup that you were going to do with them, you dropped as many hints as possible before you did it. Of course, it is a general read, so I'm feeling like there's a change coming. The basic thing that's going on here is there's a change. You've been waiting to make this change. Move forward with this change. You've been telling them, dropping hints, whatever you need to do, and they've been kind of ignoring it. You're moving forward with the change. You're actually in the process of it, and they're dumbfounded, and they're just kind of looking at the situation, trying to understand what to do next. I feel like they want to do something about this, but they're kind of like, they don't know what to do, which is odd for the Queen of Wands. That's not a normal feeling for the Queen of Wands. I feel like the two of these together, which the Eight of Cups, I'm looking at how that person on the Eight of Cups is looking, and then just the look on the face of the Queen of Wands to me right now, she wants to do something. She's used to doing something, but, and don't get caught up in the gender as I always say, she's used to doing something, but she just doesn't know what to do, but she has the urge to do something. But it's just like, I feel like this side's just dumbfounded. I feel like at this point, when the change happens, they're dumbfounded. I really do. Now, what's going on here? Things that make the situation better. Is this during the change? I feel like this is during the change. So, I give the Knight of Wands its due because there's some air going on here, which there's some swords. This is communication to me. I'm feeling this communication all the way. This is what's helping on your side. You're communicating King of Wands style in the sense of like you're just laying out what's happening, what's going on, what needs to happen next, what you're doing. It's not like anything's negotiable. This is just like what's happening, what needs to be done, and what you're doing about it. It's all like what's happening. It's just almost like a news report. And your partner is just kind of like Nine of Swords, just kind of, I feel like they're feeling a little guilty, like they didn't pay attention close enough. It's like a moment of loss and regret here. Is that the 10? No, it's a Nine of Swords. I feel like they're regretting not handling this differently, and they're feeling. I'm getting like a helpless feel. Like the situation isn't over, but they seem to be like. I don't. Typically, I would say this is a disarming card, but I'm feeling like there's some regret here. I'm feeling regret on this one, especially the look on that person's face. It feels like regret to me. It feels like everything's in front of them going on. There's still things they could do, but they're very mired in the feeling. Like, I don't feel like they really want things to move forward for some reason. And they're just kind of feeling this negative feeling is kind of what I'm getting. But you're giving them the news report on what's going on. This is a strange situation. Well, maybe not. Maybe if this is resonating with you, maybe it makes complete sense. Because what I'm seeing here is you're stuck waiting for a change to happen. Your partner just not touching base with it, not getting it, not seeing it, not wanting to see it. Your partner has a lot of love for you, is having a good time, enjoying life. You're preparing for the change. You're waiting for this change to go forward, and when it does, you're going to be involved with it. The change happens, and you do. It takes you away from your partner for a while, and you're out there handling the change. Your partner, left dumbfounded, just kind of looks at you like, what is happening? You communicate, like a news report, what's happening, what needs to be done, what you're doing about it. Like a news report, though. I don't feel like there's any negotiation. You're just like, it's like a news report. You're just saying how it is. And your partner's just kind of like feeling regret and a little bit of loss. I don't know about loss, just regret that they didn't, catch on beforehand and get more prepared for this. And I don't know, I'm not getting a lot of action. I'm getting more stagnation by being overwhelmed. Just like still trying to like hold on to that denial. Not, I don't know if you want to say trying to hold on to it, but still kind of stuck there, and just kind of like going through regret feelings and just not really being effective on their side. That's what I'm feeling. Now on their side, I'm getting in the near future, and on your side, the peaceful resolution. Even though you have King of Swords energy here, which is just saying how it is, and being right out there about it, it says peaceful resolution for you. In other words, you're not being mean. I feel like that's why it's coming through like almost like a news report. Like you're just saying what's happening. You're just giving it how it is. There's no judgment. I don't think you're trying to put much feeling into it. You're just saying, this is what happened, this is what needs to be done, and this is what I'm doing about it. It's just what it is. Peaceful resolution. Like you're not being mean about it. You might be a little aggravated, but I still don't feel you're being mean about it. And in the near future, I feel like they're supposed to snap out of it. Like in the near future, there's a face-down card here. Alright, so in the near future, there's forgiveness. So something improves. Whatever this changes, for some of you, I feel like you might be moving on from this. I feel like that's a low percentage, so I don't think like that's everybody. And if the forgiveness is, I feel like it's just the peaceful resolution, amicable ending, like you're just both going your ways. If that, I don't feel like there's a lot of you doing that. I feel most of you are dealing with some type of change around in the family. Something like that, or friendships or family, and you're helping with something. And they should have been more involved, and I feel like it looks like they dropped the ball. And I feel like that's kind of the problem here. And you're just kind of picking it up and going forward. I do feel like they finally, I feel like you might give them direction or tell them things to do to help out. You might give them something to do to make an effort to look a little better in the situation. I feel like there's where the forgiveness comes through. So if you're still in this relationship and it's about the family, which I feel like the majority, that's what it's about, like family, friends, helping out in that sense. When it gets to this part where they're just kind of dumbfounded and have regret, at some point you're giving them direction or I need this, can you do this for me? Like they're helping out in that sense, like you're telling them what to do and they're doing it for you. And that's where the forgiveness, that's where they feel better. And things seem to improve for there. If or like I said before, if you're that low percentage, I don't feel like there's a lot of you. But if you're parting ways, I feel like you're doing it so peacefully that they get online with you the same way, and it's like a peaceful, amicable parting. It's fine. I feel like it's just accepting that it is what it is at this point. So it depends which road you're going down, because I feel like this is like a dual thing, especially with the general reads. I try not to make it too pinpoint, and I try to leave it open so you realize that there's a lot of different ways this energy can flow in your life, because it's basically about the energy going through and changes happening and you handling them and you picking up the pieces and bringing your partner online and helping your partner accept it and move forward as necessary. All right, I feel like we're good with the relationship. Let's do Pisces single. How long did that one take? I've noticed that the relationship reads seem to take longer. Seems like they're taking about 20 minutes per, well, for the relationship part anyway. The single might be a little quicker, but the relationships, they're usually quite involved. For good, for bad. I'm just noticing it a lot lately. Probably because you're, melding in two different energies, your energy and somebody else's. When it's only one thing, it's like, it goes a little smoother when there's only one person to consider, I guess. Now, for Pisces single Pisces. What do we got for single Pisces? Empowering information for single Pisces, helping them make choices, helping them see things coming, helping the people who need this to make better decisions, to make them happy, to go the direction they want to go in life. Good old Herman. Okay. I'm aware that this card, you know, yeah. I'm seeing one difficult card here, but it's questioning what it means. It's in the future it's the Devil card, but it could be a over concentration on sex. I've seen that come through that way before. And the reason I'm bringing that forward is it's not like somebody's like upset and everything's bad, blah. It's just saying that it's kind of getting over accentuated with the physical, so that could be what's happening. I'm just gonna hold off and see where. I just saw Herman. I call him Herman. I don't know why I called him Herman that time. He popped in there and I'm just like, okay, Herman. So nice of you to stop in. So nice to see ya. Where you're starting, 4 of Pentacles. There's only 3 Pentacle cards here in your reading. This is one of them. But the other 2 are very strong. It's the Queen and King you got going on here. Now, I don't feel like this is bad, actually. The more I'm looking at this, like some of these cards, like I'm seeing the Devil card over there, but I don't think it's really that bad. I feel like it's just kind of warning about getting over accentuated in the physical. Now, the 4 of Pentacles here usually talks about holding back, maybe a little miserly, maybe being a little more reluctant to share what you feel or know. Sometimes it's about not sharing your feelings. That can be a big one for this card sometimes, depending on how the rest of the reading is going. And with a love reading, I'm kind of feeling like this is talking about not sharing how you feel. So you might not be sharing with this person how you feel, and one of the reasons is I feel like you might be a little bit, you know, hearts in the eyes. How do you put this? Rose-colored glasses, goo-goo, you know, a little head over heels. You might be bowled over by this person. You might be like really taken by them, and you're just feeling it the whole way. And you're just trying to slow it down a bit, and I feel like you're kind of aware that if you come across too strong, that could freak this person out. So I'm seeing you're holding back. You're holding back how you feel, but there might be a good reason for that. I can understand, as a Pisces anyway, I can understand like you get a little too excited and you're just like, I've done this before and I've been a little bit too excited before, and that's kind of, you know, that's kind of like detached the horse from the wagon, and the horse went on and I just sat here in the wagon and went, what happened? So, I can see that being like a good thing. Actually, I do see that as a good thing. But maybe it's because I'm a Pisces. Like, sometimes you're a little bit overexcited and you just got to kind of keep it to yourself for a moment just so you don't freak the other person out. It's not a bad thing. It's just it can come over just a little bit too strong, and sometimes that's a little unnerving for other people. Especially if you're going with an earth energy. If you really come in strong, they might not like that. And you got a lot of earth energy going on here. I know there's only 2 other cards, but I feel a strong earth energy because those are major cards in my opinion. Now, I'm going to say what I'm seeing in the environment because it feels prudent. 8 of Cups. In your situation, I'm really feeling like the other person is really evaluating and trying to understand what they should do. I'm thinking they're seeing a lot of value here. But they're seeing a lot of value, but they're also seeing a lot of improvement that needs to happen for whatever that means. Like there's something that's gonna, if they get involved in this is gonna change. This is gonna take a little work. I don't feel like this person is shy to that, but they're just looking at the situation like, what type of work is this gonna be? What do I want to do here? Because I feel like they're looking at you like, do they want to get involved in your life? Because when they get involved, they get fully involved. That's the type of person I'm getting here. So it's almost like they're reviewing the situation and they're just trying to make a logical choice. This feels, if this isn't an earth energy person, like it doesn't have to mean that they're a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. To me, it's just like it's the way they're moving in the situation. A little slow, methodical, trying to be careful, trying to make the smart choice, trying not to let your heart make the decision, but trying to let your mind sort it out and decide whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. Like that's the energy I'm getting here. This person is trying to do that. Now, I'm getting like, this is where this person is, and it's really good to know this. I'm getting this is why we're talking about the devil card in the future, because I'm getting your feelings are strong. And you want to be careful not to spook the horse, if you will. Because the horse is going to bolt. You're going to be sitting in that wagon all by yourself with nothing to pull you along in it. So I feel like that's the energy you're dealing with. Like, you're kind of holding back for good reason. I feel like you know this at this point. If this is hitting, I feel like you know this. Now this is interesting too, because got my friend here, the Hanged Man, which if you saw the first half of this reading, maybe not. Not my most favorite card in this deck, because of the way he's like completely stuck. I'm getting like, you may have been aware of this person, maybe yes, no, but there was no chance, or this seemed like there was no chance for anything to happen. The Death card comes in with the Four of Cups. I feel like this person communicates your way, or somehow there's a date or something, some type of movement forward here where you're like realizing this person they're interested, and this is something we can do. I'm getting the Death card with the Four of Cups. Like, I get like the offer is given. It feels to you like there was no chance, and then there's complete chance. Well, it goes from no chance to like the offer's made. I want to feel more like that. But then you're waiting, because I feel like that's why I feel like it's a date or something in the future. Like, I feel like this person comes your way. I feel like this person comes your way, and the offer's out there. You accept, but then it's waiting for the date or whatever it is to come around. There's a waiting period here. So the Death card comes in, then the Four of Cups. This Four of Cups? Yep. So, and I'm getting waiting with that. But the Death card in this situation is good, because I feel like where you thought there was no chance, there's now an offer. That's how I'm reading this. That's how I'm feeling it in. Because to you, the situation before this moment was dead. Like, there was nothing there. It was not going to happen. And then all of a sudden the offer's there, and you're just like, well, yes, I would like to. Because you already have feelings for this person. So you're like, yes, I would like that. That would be wonderful. Now, I feel like when we hit this spot, offer's there and you're waiting, you're in this middle area, this limbo sort of spot. You got the Seven of Wands. Very hopeful. Feeling like the situation is going to work out, you just got to keep your eye on the prize, you got to hold yourself together about it. And I feel like the way why you're feeling that is because you're realizing, you don't want to come across too strong. Four of Pentacles here. You don't want to come across too strong. Seven of Wands, so you're going to try to hold it together. Just because you want this, you want this to be long term. You definitely want this to be long term. If this is hitting with you, you want this to be long term. And I'm also getting this Queen of Pentacle energy at the top. I feel like this is a good match, because we have the Queen of Pentacles here, and then we have the King of Pentacles at your final card. So you got like, to me, that's like a marriage within a reading. That's saying that this is all going to work out, or can work out. Herman over here could cause some problems, but we'll get to him in a second. The Queen of Pentacles, very loving, very caring, very smart, makes deliberate moves, makes very slow but very successful chess moves, if you will. I don't really think of her as a manipulator. I think of her as just going slow, thinking about what she's going to do, not moving until she knows it's the right choice. The King of Pentacles is also that, except he's more of the analyzer, more of the strategist. He's more of the strategist. She's more like, I'm not going to get my heart involved in something if it looks like a bad bet. He's more, all right, I think this is something I want to be involved in, but what is best for both of us to move forward with? It's just a little bit different energy, in my opinion. Neither, better than the other, in my opinion, either. But it's just the way the situation is kind of progressing, especially when you go look at the court system, or like the royal system, if you will. In the deck especially, it goes, page, knight, queen, king. So you're going from the queen part here, which is pretty advanced, and then you're ending at the king part, but it's a slow thing. It's moving forward slowly, and this person that you're dealing with is definitely methodical about that. I'm getting this in the future here. There's some choices for you to make. How far to go and all that stuff. what to do, what not to do. Right below that, Four of Swords, kind of feeling, I feel like you want to move a lot faster than you can. I feel like your emotions are, your natural feeling with your emotions, you want to move forward. You want to go forward. You definitely do. But the other person's like, slow. I do slow or I do no. Here we go with the Raymond. I do slow or I do no. Okay. Seriously, I'm going to write a book. Not really. I'm either going to go slow or I'm not going to go at all. I'm getting there's a strong energy here that's coming in around you. And I feel like it's, if you kind of push too hard, I feel like, and you know that, I don't feel like they'll go for it and they'll back off. It's just not their way. So, the choice is coming forward. How fast do I want to go? How slow? What should I offer? What should I not offer? How should I handle this? What should I say? What should I not say? You're in the beginning stages of this, so for me that makes sense. When this person is, assuming this goes forward for you the way I'm hoping it does, in the future, ways down the road, you can move more fluidly with how you're feeling, but you'll be more established with this person. They'll understand you more. It'll be more connected. It won't be an issue. But for now, you got to give them time to warm up to it. So that makes sense. To me, that makes sense. All right, so here's Herman, or the devil, whatever you want to call him. Followed by the recovery here. All right, so I keep calling him Herman because it makes me laugh, because I don't really care for where this is popping up. I'm feeling like you could have a moment, an emotional moment here, and just what way is it going to go? The recovery can go two ways. I'm feeling like you can see it coming and you can get a hold of it. And I feel like it might be a little rough for you not to be too sharing or too giving at this point. It could end up being an over-sexual moment. Like things going forth a little too fast, a little too quickly. I feel like that could be a problem. I feel like that could slow this person down. I feel like you might end up taking a step backwards. They might end up cooling off and just backing off for a while if that happens. Because I get this recovery after. Like there's going to be a moment here where you have to like audit what's going on. And if something sexual happens a little too early, I mean, it's your business what you do, clearly. And I don't have any reservation about that. But I'm feeling like the other person's going to kind of recoil a little bit. And you're going to be stuck kind of trying to sort out like what happened. Like why did everything slow down? Like what's going on? Because I feel like it's going forward too fast for the other person and it's making them nervous and they're taking a little time out from it if that's what happens. But on the other hand, if something like that or your emotions start, ramping up, it could happen in another way. Some people I know definitely have a thing with jealousy. If something happens and you're having a jealous moment, hopefully you can reel that in before it causes you any damage. But there's going to be a moment where you have to really sort through your feelings and why did I feel that way? Like, what am I doing? And realize that I don't feel like this energy is conducive with jealousy as much. I could be wrong, but I'm not feeling like it's going to work to your benefit. And hopefully, if you feel those, if this reading hits for you that way, it's not going to hit everybody that way. If it does, though, hopefully you can pull back and just step aside. Again, it won't hit everybody that way, because I know sometimes people listen to my readings and they take everything to heart. But if you're not a jealous person, then you're not. Don't worry about it. But if this reading is hitting for you, that Herman comes in some way, one way or another, he comes in. He causes some type of conflict. And the recovery tells me that one way or another, you're going to be repairing yourself from it. Either it's emotionally on your own, which I feel like is easier for you for this relationship, or something's going to go a little too far and you're going to have to kind of eat crow, if there's nothing better to say there. I don't like that term, but that's what came out of my mouth, so there you go. Okay, so this is just the cards. It's just warning, if this is going this way for you, you're going to hit this little happy moment here. And I don't feel like that's the end for most of you. Unless it goes really far out of control, I don't think it'll be the end of the situation. Because I'm noticing, I don't think I showed you yet, I might have showed you, I don't know, 8 of Cups here for the environment. They have don't stop right after it. So I don't feel like they're going to back off. I don't think they want to stop. So unless something really wonky goes on, I feel like things are going to keep going. It's just this will be an uncomfortable moment. One way or another, I do feel like this is going to be an uncomfortable moment. It's just how much and how you have to handle it. Do you have to handle it internally, or do you have to handle, like, you know, talking it out with somebody else and maybe, like, apologizing or explaining why this and why that? Herman's there, so he's coming. He's hanging out. Unwanted guest. There he is. The end here is, I find this very uplifting and very optimistic, in my opinion. I think most of the time, Earth energy is conducive with water energy. So that being said, Pisces is water. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo are all Earth. Pisces can have a hard time with Virgo. Sometimes they don't get along for whatever reason. But Capricorn and Taurus, that's usually an easy match. Like, astrology isn't that simple usually. There's a couple other things with it. But for just the surface level, that's usually how that goes. And I'm feeling like this Earth energy is very conducive with the situation. Once you get by this bump, assuming that all works out well, and I feel like for most of you it will, I feel like the pace is set after that point, and I feel like you're doing better. I feel like this is the progression. This is the start of the progression. You're aware of the tempo. I don't know if you want to say the tempo. Yeah, the tempo, the incline rate, whatever you want to say here. You're aware of how fast it's going to build. And I feel like this is giving you a lot of hope, and you're feeling a lot more comfortable. I feel like the longer this goes, the more comfortable you feel, if that helps. Like, you feel more comfortable at the end here than you did at the beginning, but like 2 months after this, you're going to feel even more comfortable. 4 months after that, even more comfortable. You know what I mean? It's just going to keep raising. So I feel like this is very good. It's just, I feel like you understand the tempo of the situation at this point, and you're realizing how fast it's going to go. And I feel like you're more comfortable because you're like, as long as I see progression is progression. Progress is progress. Improvement is improvement. Alright, so I feel like we got that there. Alright, so we're good. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.